Hello dear students, welcome back. In the previous video, you learned to make journal entries of few transactions. Today I am going to explain you journal entries for the transactions related to bank and goods. So here I have taken few transactions from question number 8 and question number 9 of your textbook on page number 103. So here is the question. Write journal entry for Krishna for the following transactions. Year 2014, March 1st. Transaction is rupees 20,000 deposited with bank and opened account. So here, which two accounts are involved? Here, cash account and bank account are involved. So let us see journal entry for this. Sometimes businessman deposits surplus cash in bank. So here, bank is a personal account. As we know that bank is an institution and it will come under personal account. So here for bank account, we will apply the rule of personal account, which says debit the receiver. Here, bank is the receiver of cash. So bank account will be debited by rupees 20,000, and as cash is an asset, it is a real account. Here cash is going out of business, so cash account will be credited. Here you can also apply the knowledge of modern approach, which I explained you earlier in the previous video. So as per modern approach of accounting, bank balance and cash balance both are assets, and nature of asset is debit. So in case of asset, if asset increases, then it will be debited. Here bank balance is increasing, that's why bank account will be debited, and cash is also an asset, but here cash is decreasing. Here asset is decreasing, that's why cash account will be credited. And we will write narration, being bank account opened by depositing cash. Now next transaction, date 10th, goods sold to Rupali, rupees 14,000, out of which check received for half amount, which deposited with bank. So here first identify the nature of transaction. This transaction is half credit transaction and half cash transaction. It is half credit transaction because half of the amount is yet to be received by us from Rupali. So in this way, it is credit transaction. Here only half payment is made through check. So in this way, it is cash transaction. So here three accounts are involved. Sales account, Rupali, which is our debtor, as it is a credit transaction, and because of credit transaction, debtor-creditor relationship arises. Debtor is the person to whom we sell goods on credit. So in this way, Rupali is our debtor. Then bank account, as payment is made through check. So here, as bank account is a personal account, so as per the rule of personal account, debit the receiver. Here bank is check receiver, so bank account will be debited, but only by 7,000, because Rupali has not paid entire amount. That is, she has not paid 14,000. She has paid only half amount by check. That's why bank is the receiver of check of the amount 7,000. And as half amount she has not paid, it becomes credit transaction for half amount. So in this way, Rupali is our debtor. And as it is a name of person, it is personal account. So for Rupali account, we will apply the rule of personal account, which says debit the receiver. So here we have to ascertain whether Rupali is receiver or giver. Here Rupali is receiver of the benefit. Benefit in the form of what she is receiving. She is receiving goods that we have sold to her. So in this way, as she is a receiver, so Rupali's account will be debited by 7,000. Why 7,000? Because out of 14,000, 7,000 she has not paid and she is going to pay us in future. In this sense, she is our debtor. So Rupali's account will be debited. She is receiver of the benefit in the form of goods that we have sold to her. Now, sales account will be credited. Sales account is related to goods and goods is real account. And as goods are going out from business, that's why sales account will be credited by rupees 14,000. We have sold goods of rupees 14,000, out of which we have received check of rupees 7,000 and we have not received amount of 7,000 out of goods sold 14,000. So here narration will be, being sold goods of rupees 14,000 to Rupali, received half of the amount by check which is deposited in the bank. Now let us see next transaction, date 20. Bank has approved overdraft of rupees 25,000. So what will be the entry for this? Here we will not pass any kind of journal entry for this transaction as this is a non-economic transaction and non-economic transactions are not recorded in the books. So for this we will write, being a non-economic transaction, it will not be recorded. See, bank overdraft is a facility, or we can say it is a kind of short-term loan given by bank. But here, bank has only approved, it has only sanctioned overdraft. Here, no transaction has taken place. That's why it is called non-economic transaction, for which we will not pass any journal entry. Now let's make journal entries for few transactions of question number 9. Here is the question. Write journal entry for the following transactions in the books of Ramesh. Date, year 2014, April 7. Goods of rupees 12,000 purchased from Harsh. Here, first we will decide which two accounts are involved. Here, purchase account, and as it is a credit transaction, how did we identify this? Here, no cash word is mentioned. Here only name of the person is mentioned from whom we have purchased goods. So we can say that it is a credit transaction as these things we have studied earlier. Now as it is a credit transaction, so here debtor-creditor relationship arises. And in case of credit transactions, the name of the person or we can say creditor's account, that is Harsh account. Harsh is our creditor. Harsh account will definitely be affected. So let us see journal entry. So here first we will write heading Journal of Ramesh. Then we will write date. Here purchase account and Harsh account will be affected. Purchase account is a real account as it is related to goods. So real account says that debit what comes in and credit what goes out. So here by purchasing goods, goods is coming in the business. So as per the rule, debit what comes in, purchase account will be debited by rupees 12,000. And as Harsh is a giver of the benefit. So Harsh is a personal account as it is the name of the person. he is our creditor. So here Harsh account will be credited as he is a giver of the benefit in the form of goods. He has supplied goods to us. That's why his account will be credited. And if we think from the perspective of modern approach, in that case also the result will be same. Here purchase account indicates goods account. Goods is our asset. And here asset is increasing. And as the nature of asset is debit, and if asset increases, then it will be debited. So purchase account will be debited. And here Harsh is our creditor. Creditor, that means liability. How liability? Because we have purchased goods from Harsh, but we have not made payment to him yet. So Harsh is going to receive money from us in future. We have to pay him in future. So in this sense, it is our liability as we have to pay him in future. So Harsh account will be credited as he is our creditor. Creditor is liability. So we will write narration here, being goods purchased from Harsh. Now next transaction, 10th date. Out of goods purchased due to defective goods, half goods returned to Harsh. Here we have on April 7, we purchased goods from Harsh. But now, maybe because of some inferior quality, now we are returning goods to Harsh. So here, which two accounts are involved? Here, purchase return account and Harsh account are involved. So let us see entry for this. Here, Harsh is personal account. And personal account says debit the receiver. So here, Harsh account will be debited as Harsh is receiving goods. As we are returning it to him, so he is receiving goods. That's why Harsh account will be debited. And purchase return account is related to goods account. And goods account is real account, which says that credit what goes out as we are returning purchased goods. That's why goods are again going out from business. So purchase return account will be credited. So this was traditional approach. Now let us see from the viewpoint of modern approach. So here, as per modern approach, Harsh was our creditor. If we see the transaction of date 7, there we saw that Harsh was our creditor. Now, as we are returning goods to him, what we purchased from him, so here creditor is reducing. That means liability is reducing. As now, we don't require to pay him 6,000 as we are returning goods of rupees 6,000 to him. So we are not going to pay rupees 6,000 to him. So our liability is getting reduced here. That's why, as we know that the nature of liability is credit. So if liability decreases, then it will be debited. And as goods is our asset, but now as we are returning it, so here our asset is reducing. And we know that the nature of asset is debit. And if asset decreases, then it will be credited. Then we will write narration, being defective goods returned to Harsh. Let us see next transaction, date 20. Goods of rupees 20,000 sold to Kalpana at 10% rate discount and 5% cash discount. Here, in such type of transaction, where both the types of discounts are given, In that case, first of all, you will have to identify whether the transaction is cash transaction or credit transaction. Here, no cash word is mentioned. Don't get confused here. Here, cash discount is given. Only cash word is not mentioned anywhere. So, as no cash word is mentioned, here only the name of the person to whom we have sold goods is given, that is Kalpana. So, in this way, we identified that it is credit transaction. To identify it, it is of great importance because when the transaction is credit transaction, in that case, cash discount will not be allowed. Because cash discount is allowed to customer at the time when they pay the money for the goods sold to them. Now, as it is a credit transaction, so we will not calculate cash discount here. So let's see calculation for this. Here, goods is sold of rupees 20,000 and trade discount is given 10%. So 10% of 20,000 is 2,000. So 2,000 is trade discount. So 20,000 minus 2,000, that is trade discount, we will get 18,000. So we will record 18,000 amount, the amount which we get after deducting trade discount. So let's see journal entry for this. See, here Kalpana account is personal account. So here we will apply the rule of personal account, that is debit the receiver. Here Kalpana is receiving goods as we sell goods to Kalpana. So in this way she is receiving goods. So Kalpana's account will be debited and sales account is related to goods account and goods is real account, and as goods are going out of business, so in this way sales account will be credited as per the rule of real account. Now we will write narration being sold goods to Kalpana at 10% trade discount. Now one thing you need to know in this, that as we have completed recording on this particular page, as now we are going to change the page. So in that case, one thing you need to know, that whatever transactions are recorded in a journal on respective page, after having total at the end of page, the word total carried forward is written. As I have written here, I have first you will total the debit column and total the credit column. Then you will write here total carried forward. Then you will turn the page. Then on subsequent page, before recording transactions, in the beginning of page, again total of debit and credit is written with the word total brought forward. Now we can start next journal entry. Now our next transaction is transaction 22, date 22, goods of rupees 2,000 destroyed by fire and insurance company admitted claim of rupees 1,000. Means here accidentally fire would have taken place in the shop or godown of businessman and goods got burnt by fire. So this will be treated as loss of business. And if goods destroyed is insured, this loss will be borne by insurance company. Here it is given that insurance company admitted claim of rupees 1,000. So let us see journal entry for this. Here 3 accounts will be affected: insurance company account, loss by fire account, and purchase account. Here insurance company would become debtor for the amount of admitted claim. As we have taken insurance for goods and we are paying premium for that. So here legal right is created. Here insurance company will compensate us for our loss. So in this way, insurance company would become debtor for us. See, insurance company is artificial person. So it will come under personal account. So here we will apply the rule of personal account and hence insurance company account will be debited by rupees 1000. Now next is loss by fire account. Here as loss is a nominal account, so as per the rule of nominal account which says debit all expenses and losses. That's why loss by fire account will be debited by rupees 1000. Here we are suffering from loss of rupees 1000 only. Though goods are destroyed by fire of rupees 2000. But as insurance company is bearing loss of half amount which is 1000, so here we are having loss of only 1000. That means out of rupees 2000 which is goods destroyed by fire, out of 2000, 1000 we will receive from insurance company in future and 1000 is our loss. Now purchase account will be credited as goods are going out of business, as goods are destroyed by fire. So purchase account will be credited as per the rule of real account. Now let's move to the next transaction. Date 27. Goods of rupees 300 received as free sample. See, sometimes for the purpose of advertisement of product, manufacturer or wholesaler give goods to the retailers as free sample. Generally, retailer has to distribute these goods to customers for free. So, there is no monetary exchange for goods here. Thus, it is a non-economic transaction. So, here we will write, being a non-economic transaction, it will not be recorded. So, as it is a non-economic transaction, we will not pass journal entry for this. So, that's all for today. Thank you very much.